Hey, Algebra. This is Mr. Johnson again. Take a look today at the next step in our pre-algebra review, adding and subtracting fractions. Okay, so I just wanted to look at adding and subtracting fractions. Does have some rules. We're going to look at some of the simpler problems involved in adding and subtracting fractions today. So some of these rules will not show up today. Actually, these first two will not show up for today. So in order to add or subtract fractions, we do need to have a common denominator first. Everything we're looking at today is going to have a common denominator. So once you've got that, then you can add or subtract, but you only add or subtract the numerator. That's the top number. The bottom number remains unchanged because that's telling you the number of pieces required to create one whole, one complete thing. And so that doesn't change whether you're adding or subtracting the numerators together. At the end, our last step with any problem involving fractions always is going to be reducing, if possible. Okay, so got workspace here, and I am just going to look at a couple of the examples out of the assignment for today. So we'll start here. So I got 1/4 plus 4/4. Okay, so I already have a common denominator. They both have a denominator of 4, so I'm just going to add the tops together. 1 plus 4 is 5, and the denominator stays the same. So you can either use the equation editor here and create a fraction with clicking this button, or if you'd rather just use your keyboard, 5 and then the forward slash over 4. So in this case, today, it says to enter our answer as a reduced improper fraction, which, to be honest, for the most part in algebra and any kind of math beyond algebra, like above, improper fractions are going to be far more useful than what mixed numbers are. Okay, so I'm going to skip over here to question number 4. I never even submitted that. I guess it doesn't really matter, but I'll submit it. Yay, I got that one right. Okay, then we're going to take a look at number 4. So here, this kind of is a weird looking thing. So I have a denominator of -6. So I got a couple of options about how to deal with a denominator of -6. I'm just going to leave it alone to start with. It's not the only possible way to do it, but I'm just going to leave it. Where's my pen? Weird. Okay, here we go. Write this problem down. Okay, so I got 1 over -6, and I'm going to subtract 8 over -6. Okay, they have a common denominator. It is a denominator of -6, which technically violates a number of math conventions. We don't normally have negative denominators, but we're going to worry about that later. Move this up here. Okay, so I start with 1, subtract 8. I'm just going to look at the numerators, and 1 minus 8, I gotta wait for my pen to show up, is, oh my gosh, come on, pen, going to be -7. Oh, it changed to green. That's weird. Okay, so now I have -7 over -6, and if you remember from the other day, we were looking at dividing integers. So this is basically a division problem. The fractions actually are a division. Give it a different name because it's got a special job to do, but it's really just a division problem. So I can count the number of negative numbers that show up in this division problem. There's 1 on the top, here, 2 on the bottom. That's an even number. So even number of negatives gives me a positive answer. So I'm going to attempt to get this to show up in blue this time. So it's going to, my final answer is going to be positive 7/6. 7 over 6. We could have done a number of different approaches. We could have dealt with a negative denominator to begin with, but I'm not going to do it another time here. So well, we've got a whole string of numbers being added together on this one. That's some fresh workspace. So we can keep track of our numerators. The denominator is not going to change. Right? So 21/26 plus 9/26 minus 12 26. Since they all have a common denominator, I can just go ahead and do the addition and subtraction. And I'm going to just do a little bit of cleanup. So I know that my answer is going to have a denominator of 26. Oops, that's supposed to be as a denominator. Blue, okay, denominator of 26. I just have to figure out my numerator. So I can, now that I've established that, I can ignore all of these denominators up here and just focus on what is 21 plus 9 minus 12, right? So let's go two at a time. 21 plus, let's go from left to right. 21 plus 9 is 30, and then subtract 12 from that is going to be 18. So I'm going to end up with 18/26, and that is going to have to be reduced. So let's see if we can get this to show up. Okay, equals. Okay, so what number could we divide? 18 divided by and 26 divided by, what number will work? I can use the same number both times and come out with an even result. We'll go in an even amount of times. Looks like 2 is the only thing that's going to work. 18 divided by 2 is going to be 9. 26 divided by 2 is 13. So 9/13. 9/13. Yay! All right, let's skip over here to number 7. All right, so we got some mixed numbers showing up this time. Mixed numbers are growth. Ugh. Who put those things in here? So I got 5 and 5/7 plus 4 and 6/7. Okay, so I'm going to take the whole number portions first and just add those together. So I'm going to do the whole number of 5 and the whole number of 4, add those together. That's going to be 9. And where'd my pen go? It keeps hiding from me. So that's going to be 9. And then I can add the two fraction portions together to each other. Let's change colors. We'll do blue. Okay, so they both have a denominator of 7. So I know the denominator is going to be 7. I'll write that down in a minute. So I have the highlighter turned on. And oh my gosh, it takes too long. Okay, so denominator of 7. Great. Then I'm going to add the blue highlighted 5 and the blue highlighted 6. That's 11. Right. Okay. So end up with 9 and 11/7. What? Okay. So I've got a mixed number, and the fraction portion of the mixed number is an improper fraction. Well, we can't leave it like that. So that means there's another hole in there. So I wrote 9. There's a number of holes that are there, but actually there's an extra one because 11 is bigger than 7. So I'm going to subtract and add a number to the whole number portion. So instead of 9, it's going to be 10. And then when I subtracted 11 minus the 7, that gives me 4, because it takes 7 of these pieces. That's what the number in the denominator tells us. It takes 7 pieces to create one whole thing. So if I have 11 of these pieces, that means I got a whole thing plus 4 extra pieces, right? So take the 11 pieces I got, subtract 7, that gives me another whole. So I added it to the 9 to get 10. And then there's still those 4 extra pieces left over. So that's my fraction. And in this case, the directions did not say to enter your answer as a mixed, as an improper fraction like the previous problem did. In fact, it says enter a mixed number or integer. I don't know why that didn't show up to begin with, but definitely showing those directions now. So 10, and then I'm going to put a space, so otherwise it'll think I'm typing 104. I'm not typing 104. I want 10, and so there's space, so I can create my fraction. 4 on the top and 7 on the bottom. And until I'd finished typing that fraction, you saw it gave me syntax incomplete, right? Because I haven't finished the fraction. So if I were to like hit enter and then submit this right now, it's going to be wrong just because I haven't finished typing it. So that's all that little error message right here. That's all it means. So once I finish typing the fraction, it goes away. Yay, submit. All right, cool. Let's jump over here to 11. All right, so we got some positives and some negatives. Where did I leave that number line at? Okay, so common denominator already. So I have 2/5 plus -3/5. So I know before I look at any of what's going on with the positives and negatives and adding and subtracting and stuff, I know that my final answer is going to have a denominator of fifths. Okay, so that allows me to focus just on the numerators. All right, so let's highlight those. So it's going to be 2 plus negative 3. Okay, and I can use my number line to keep track of this if I need. So start at 2, and then adding means I'm going to move towards the right. But when I hit that negative sign, that's the reverse. And so up, okay, instead of right, now I have to move to the left by 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to end up right here. That's going to be negative 1. Blam. Okay, all kinds of different colors there. So negative 1/5 is my final answer. Negative 1/5. Enter. Yay. Okay. 12. Same idea, right? I have common denominators. I got some negative numbers adding together a negative number. So I'm going to start at negative 1/4. And then the addition would mean I'd move to the right on my number line, but the negative on the negative 3/4 is a reverse. So now I go to the left. So my answer should be a negative number, which is further to the left across the number line. I think let's just do, well, not 13 either. Let's just do as a final problem. I'll just do number 14. Sorry, I started talking about number 13 and didn't actually end up doing it. I was not planning to do that. Um, okay, so let me grab number line, new workspace, paste that in here just in case I want to use that, and my pen. Okay, so I got it's a highlighter. No, I don't want a highlighter. Pen, pen, pen. What color is my pen? Blue is fine. Okay. Oh, that's a highlighter still. What? It tricked me. Pen. Give me pen. Give me pen. What? Oh my gosh. There. Ha. Okay. I got it. Silly computer. Okay, so the denominators are all 8. So I know my final answer is going to have a denominator of 8. And now I can simplify this problem. Simplify. I can get rid of the denominators. I don't need to pay attention to them right now. What I need right now is to start at 4 on the number line. Should see if I can draw a little stick person for us. Yeah, okay. It's really not a stick person. Anyway, start at 4. Pretend like that's a stick person. That like is a collection of scribbles. So start at 4 and then add 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm off my number line by a space. I'm at 11. I'm not going to write that in there because my handwriting won't fit it in there. And then minus, so that means I'm going to go back to the left by 13 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I guess I'm going to end at negative 2. All right. So negative 2/8. That'll need to be reduced. I know those are both even numbers, so I can divide them both by 2. So negative 1/4. Final answer, negative 1/4. Okay. Hey. All right. Well, hopefully that covers all the questions that you had, and good luck.